4 years ago this week, I was involved in a very bizarre situation involving reservations at a really great Mexican restaurant in Western Massachusetts. And I bring this up today because we've both, Lewis, had a whole bunch of weird reservation incidents since then. So the backstory is great new Mexican restaurant opened up in Western Massachusetts. I called to say, I want to make a reservation. And they said, okay, we can't guarantee the reservation, but what we can basically do is put you on our list now. So if you were to show up now, we would put you on the list. But since you're calling, we'll put you on the list now. So it's not a reservation, but you're basically starting the waiting period right now. Fantastic. I show up there 30 minutes later and I say, hey, I called. We're already on the list. Where are we? And I was told, well, you're at the bottom of the list now. I said, wait a second. I called and you told me you can put me on the list now. They said, yes, we put you on the list when you call, but you don't start moving up the list until you get here. And I said, well, so how is that any different than if I just show up and you put me on the list? Then what advantage is there to calling in to get on the waiting list? And she said, well, it's so that we know you're coming. And I said, right, but of what use is it to me that you know I'm coming to the restaurant to be put on the list if it gives me no advantage whatsoever in ultimately getting a table at this restaurant? I mean, it was an insane situation, reminiscent of the Chinese restaurant episode on Seinfeld. Have you ever heard of such a policy?
I have not. I've never run into that. It's almost of no use to them also.
Yeah.
It's not, you weren't at one of these 3-star Michelin restaurants where they need to know exactly what to prepare because there are people coming and what they need to do. So very confusing.
The other one I had more recently, and I've never experienced this before. I was going to a restaurant with 3 other people, so we were going to be a party of 4. I said, you know what? I'm going to, because I think it gets pretty busy here and they don't take reservations, I'll show up first and put my name down so that by the time everybody else shows up 20, 30 minutes later, it'll be close to time to sit. And I say, yeah, we're going to be a party of 4. And the hostess said to me, are you all here? And I said, no, I'm here to put my name on the list to wait so not everybody has to wait. She said, oh, yeah, we can't put you on the waiting list until everybody is here. And I said, well, but hold on a second. How long is the wait right now? And she says, about 45 minutes. And I say, okay, so everybody will be here within 20 to 30 minutes. I understand if we get to the front of the list and everybody isn't here, you might not seat us, right? That's a common thing. We only seat parties when everybody's here. But you can't even put me on the list until everybody is here? No, I'm sorry, that's the policy. Ultimately, when 2 of the 3 other people showed up, we just said, everybody's here, we're going to be 3 people. They sat us, and when the 4th person showed up, she just walked in and sat right down, and they didn't know any better. Is that not an insane policy? I get we won't seat you until everybody's here, but why can't I be the designated person waiting? Why does everybody need to sit and wait?
Probably what happened was that there had been so many incidents where someone is put on the list and then no one else shows up or no one shows up for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That happened so many times that they had no choice but to adopt this policy.
Have you had any reservation type issues like this? I had one just
only that one that you just mentioned and only here in Boston because of, it's very common here, I guess.
I had one very recently where I had made reservations for 8 p.m. weeks in advance, and I show up and mention the reservation to the manager who was the host that day, and he looks pained. He had a look on his face of physical pain, kind of like a wincing, and I could immediately tell there's no table. There's absolutely no table here for us. And so he invites us to sit at the bar and have a glass of wine and blah blah blah. 20, 25, 30 minutes go by. Comes over. He says, I still don't have a table, unfortunately, but if you'd like, I could seat you in the basement where we're not really open down there yet, but we're building a second dining room down there, and it would be empty and it's not fully set up. To which I said, I'm not really interested in sitting in the dark. They didn't even have proper lighting yet. It would have been like construction lighting. Again, the Seinfeld episode, another Seinfeld episode with the car reservations. He had my reservation. He apparently didn't hold a table though, and that's really the key thing, isn't it?
Yes, you have to hold the reservation. Yeah. This just doesn't really happen to me. It's more of a Dave thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also common for me that everybody gets their food, but there's been a glitch with mine, and by the time I get my food, everybody's finished eating. You've been witness to that many times.
I've seen that happen. Yeah.
Warby Parker is offering a free 5-day home try-on to give you the opportunity to check out their glasses. I personally wear Warby Parker glasses when I'm not wearing my contact lenses, and I also started with one of these free at-home try-ons of 5 pairs of glasses. You can get your free home try-on and support the David Pakman Show at warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS. I don't really like going into glasses stores and trying on glasses while the salesperson sort of hovers over me, and I like more than 30 seconds to actually figure out whether I like the glasses. So with the Warby Parker home try-on, I was able to pick 5 pairs that I liked, put them on in the comfort of my own home, pick the one I like the most, and then Warby Parker put my prescription lenses in there for me. A lot of people don't know that the eyeglass industry is controlled by just a few big corporations that keep prices very high, like $300 for prescription glasses high, which is just insane. Warby Parker glasses start at $95. That's what mine cost. And for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need. You can try 5 pairs and see what you like. Check out the at-home trial and support our show by going to warbyparker.com/TDPS. It costs nothing.